Hi babies! This is how I went from being 200 pounds to being 128 pounds today, and this is my weight loss journey. Recently, I have kind of blown up on TikTok talking about tips and tricks for losing weight, and a lot of people are asking for specifics, so I thought I might as well just get on here and do the full rundown. I honestly gained a lot of weight because I was the most depressed I've ever been in my life. I was more focused on keeping myself alive than how much I weighed and what I looked like. Growing up was always bigger boned. My family always told me you're just bigger boned, it's just your genetics, it's just the way that you're built. And I also got told that it was just baby fat and that as I got older I would lose said baby fat. It was a long, hard battle of the want to be better, the want to change, the want to feel confident in myself, because obviously I wasn't feeling the most confident and I was pushing 200 pounds. But instead of trying to put in effort to lose weight, I just tried different things. I started doing my makeup more. I tried finding confidence through makeup. I tried finding confidence through little things. I then started high school and I was walking around classes, lunch, and I wasn't eating lunch at school because, let's be honest, what high schooler eats school lunch or eats lunch? Not a lot. So I wasn't eating as much and I was getting a lot more exercise, and I started going down rapidly, and it honestly changed my life. Being back, because middle school I was homeschooled. Let's do a little backtracking. Middle school I was homeschooled and it was COVID, so I was not going anywhere besides dance. I've been a dancer for 15 years and that's a whole nother story. But being more active at school and all of that, I started seeing a change. I've said this before, I've never gone into it, today's the day, I'm gonna lose weight. I never did that. I'm honest, I never ever said, I'm gonna lose weight. I just started losing weight in 2022, the end of 2022. I started riding my bike more. I started eating less. I honestly started feeling better about myself. I had friends supporting me, and that kind of made me want to be better for them. And then I started seeing the change, and I think that that's what gave me the motivation, was seeing the change. Seeing the number on the scale go down made me say, oh my god, I can actually do this. I'm actually capable of this. And that definitely enlisted something into my brain that was like, you're capable of this. Before sophomore year, I joined cheer and we were running a mile every day, and obviously I was being more active. And after running a mile every day, I dropped. I went from about 175 to 150. By the end of freshman year, I was 150. And again, seeing that gave me the motivation. I was like, damn, I'm actually capable of this. But again, I'm at 150, let's keep going. I was just like, it'll go down. So that definitely motivated me. Seeing the change, I just keep doing what I'm doing and I'll get there. I like working out. I like feeling the sharp burning pain in my side every time I run for some odd reason. And I think with dance, I've always been an athlete, so I've always been one of those people that's like, if it's not burning, you're not doing it right. And every time it starts burning, just keep going, that means it's working. So I've always had that sort of mindset, and working out more often got addicted to it. I need that burning pain. Let's talk about the down, besides me being depressed. Let's talk about the down, which is what I don't want you guys doing, but we do have to be honest. I don't suggest this at all, but I know people go through it, and if there's one thing that I want, it's an honest and safe environment, and we're gonna be honest and safe. I experienced an eating disorder. That's not what we're gonna do, but it did happen. I don't really know what this would be classified as, but I had this really bad hyperfixation where I physically would not eat anything over 100 calories. Anytime I went to go get a snack or a drink, I literally would grab a Gatorade and it would be 106 calories, and I was like, no thanks. I just would not eat anything over 100 calories. I refused. And then I realized that it was an issue because obviously you can count your calories. That's an amazing thing. Keep count of your calories. Make sure that your intake to burn ratio is good, because you don't want to intake more calories than you're burning, because then that's when you start building up calories and then you're not burning them. But I realized that this had become an issue when I think I had a bowl of cottage cheese and I went to go put pepper in it. And I turned over the bottle of pepper and I was like, how many calories are in this? And I started freaking out because there aren't any calories in pepper. And I was like freaking out because I was like, I'm not gonna eat this because I don't know how many calories it is. And then that's when I was like, this is an issue. Let's perchance not do this. So I was able to recover myself. So it's not a severe eating disorder, but it is a variation of a mild eating disorder. And it was an issue. So I definitely fixed it, thankfully. But if you have an eating disorder, talk to somebody about it. I didn't talk to anybody about it. Nobody knew about it. My mom didn't even know about it until a year later. A lot of people aren't mentally as strong as I am. I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but I have been raised by people in mental health fields, and I am a psychology student, so I'm able to recognize unhealthy patterns, and I'm able to break out of them because I'm so aware. But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people, and it's not a bad thing, obviously. You're not going to be a mental health professional if you're 13 years old, but talk to somebody, find videos online, because there's people who share experiences with you. There's people that are going through the same thing as you. There's people who have gotten over the same things as you. You are not alone, and you never will be alone. There's 8 billion people on this planet very similar to you, maybe even the same thing as you. You're not alone. A healthy strategy to that is you eat and you feel like you've maybe eaten too much, or maybe you're just not feeling the best about eating today. Eat and then work out. That's what I have started doing. That is what I currently do to this day. Maybe I'll eat 2 brownies and then I'll do some jumping jacks or some squats, or I'll go on a run or a walk. Find a balance. It doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, I ate too much, I'm not going to eat tomorrow, because trust me, that sucks, and I don't want any of you guys doing that. So definitely have a healthy eating to working out ratio, and I think that works best. Things that I did: riding my bike, going on walks, run, squats, push-ups, plank, a lot of core activities, your abs. If you start in the middle of your body, it'll extend to the rest of your body. I said there wasn't like specific turning point in my life where I was like, I need to lose weight. It started happening, and since after it started happening, I was like, I kind of like this. And it's all a personal thing. It's all an interpersonal thing. You have to see the change. You have to believe in the change in order to change. Because let me tell you, if you go into it saying, I need to lose weight, I need to do this, you're not going to want to do it. It's like if your guardian tells you to wash the dishes. Now you don't want to wash the dishes. Go clean your room. Now you don't want to clean your room. But like, tell yourself, lose weight, because now you don't want to lose weight, because now it's a chore. Now it's something that you have to do. But if you start doing it, you'll want to continue. If you just get up and you pick up 5 pieces of clothing off of your floor, I already started, why not pick up the rest of the clothes off of the floor? If you go on a run and you're at 0.56 miles, might as well get to a mile. That's how I see it. That's what works for me. Hopefully that is a little bit, relatable. Hopefully that's a little bit relatable. That's just how my mind works. That's how my body works. It's all personal. It's your life. Your life is yours. Your life revolves around you. The world doesn't revolve around you, but your life revolves around you. You are the most important thing in your life. Not your family, not your friends, not your partner. You. It starts with you. Because I know that people say, oh, you can't love anybody else if you don't love yourself. That's not true. You can love other people if you don't love yourself, but you cannot give other people everything if you don't love yourself, because what? So you have to take care of you before you take care of anybody else. You can love other people, but you can't take care of other people if you can't even take care of yourself. You know what I mean? So we have to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. We have to make sure that we love ourselves. We have to make sure that we are valuing ourselves before we start taking care of others. You are important. It's your life. Your life is what you want. It's not what your family wants. It's not what your significant other wants. It's not what your friends want. It's what you want for yourself. Nobody can tell you how to live your life besides you. Obviously, you might have an influence because your family is telling you you're going to be a doctor, but maybe you don't want to be a doctor. It's your life, and you have to fight for what you want. Sometimes it might be scary. Sometimes it might seem like the end of the world because you're going against what somebody wants. But I believe that standing up for yourself is what everybody has to do in the world. Asserting your standards, your boundaries, your values, your morals is the most important thing in life, because it's your life. Are you going to be controlled, or are you going to control yourself? A lot of people were asking me, how do you lose weight if your family eats fast food a lot? And I made a TikTok about this. My family eats fast food a lot, and this is an example of self-control. You can go to McDonald's and say that you usually get a Big Mac and a large fry. Hey, I want to get a medium fry and a quarter pounder. That's control. You now have control over your life. You have control over what you're eating. When you go to a restaurant, you order for yourself. Your family might say, oh, you should get this. This seems really good. Maybe you don't like shrimp. Maybe you don't want a hamburger. Are they eating it? No, you're eating it. You have to take care of yourself. You have to do what you want. And it's small, simple things like that that start change. Waking up. Your family might say, oh, you have to be up by 8 o'clock. Wake up at 5 o'clock. That's control. Having that control will make you feel so much better. I used to live so much of my life letting my depression control me. My depression would tell me, just sleep until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And now, I woke up at 10. I still slept. I still sleep in. But my mind is now healthier. And my mind is telling me, you can make something out of this day. You can clean your room. You can make this video. I could have been sleeping right now. I woke up and I was still sleepy. I was like, I want to go back to sleep. But then I was like, I should make that video. You have control over your life. Whether you think that you do, you have to take the control over your life. The change starts with you, because once again, your life is yours. It's not anybody else's. I'm very grateful that I had the family, the friends, the significant others. Very, very glad that I had the people that I did have in my life, because never once have I heard, you're fat, you need to lose weight. Never once directly been told that. I've been told, hey, you should start eating a little less. You should start working out more. Obviously, after I lost weight, it was, don't eat that or you'll go back to being fat, or do you feel like you're gaining weight after you quit cheer? Obviously, there are things like that, but I'm very grateful that I never had a toxic environment, especially with dance, especially being an athlete. I never went to a dance studio that was like, you can't do that, you're too fat. It was always inclusive. It was always, that isn't gonna stop you. So surround yourself with people that love you, and you'll learn to love yourself. And that is one of the biggest morals I've learned in life. If you surround with people that bring you down, you're gonna bring yourself down. So it's okay. And it might feel like you're hurting yourself. It might feel like you're not capable. It might feel like, oh, I'm gonna hurt them. But your life is your life. An example I have, I know I'm yapping a lot, I'm so sorry, but an example I have is, I had this friend and they said not the best thing to me, and it made me overthink a lot. And I was like, well, I quite frankly don't have time for you to figure your life out. I know what I want in my life. I know what I value in my life. I know what I'm doing with my life. I don't have time to sit here and wait for you to figure your life out. Because honestly, they were just dragging me down with them, because it was me constantly having to give them advice. It was me constantly having to think, is this what I want for myself? And if you're in a situation where you're thinking, is this what I want for myself? Is this the best situation for me? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not. And it might take some time. It might take a lot of effort to write that paragraph, to think of what to say. But after you do it, it's gonna be so much better than dragging that person along with you for your life. And honestly, it gets better. And I know everybody hates hearing this. I hated hearing this because I was like, you don't know that. You don't know that my life is gonna get better. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know my situation. It might never get better. This thing will get better. But you have to make it better. Nobody else can make it better for you unless you get a therapist. But still, even then, your therapist can't make you feel better. You have to believe what you are telling yourself. You have to believe what you are digesting, what you are consuming, what you are putting into your body is working, is going to make you better. You have to believe. And it's all a mental thing. Life is a mental thing. Life is so mental. So your mental health is the most important thing. Because if you're constantly working out, if you're constantly counting your calories and you're telling yourself this isn't doing anything, this is pointless, you're gonna stop. Because if you're telling yourself it's pointless, then why are you gonna continue to do it? You're gonna give up. But if you tell yourself, I'm not seeing change right now, but I eventually will see change. I'm making this routine and it's going to make me feel better. You're gonna feel better. I started waking up and making coffee every day, and before, years ago, I tried doing that. I tried waking up, making coffee, having a routine. Why am I waking up at 5 a.m.? I'm done getting ready. I'm done doing what I need to do. I'm just sitting here for 3 hours before school starts. Why am I waking up at 5 a.m.? Now, I wake up at 5 a.m., I brain rot on TikTok, then I get dressed, I make my coffee, I make myself breakfast, and then I get to sit down and read it. I get to relax. I get to doom scroll. I get to edit these videos. Find things to do. Find a routine. Find a better. Tell yourself that you are going to do better and you will do better. I'm gonna have a good day. If something sets you off, I'm pissed off. You're gonna be pissed off. And the world kept spinning. The world kept spinning. You woke up late. You still got to school. The world kept spinning. You forgot to eat breakfast. Go eat lunch. The world kept spinning. You and your parents got into an argument. The world kept spinning. You went home. The world kept spinning. You failed a test. The world kept spinning. You have another test next week. The world keeps spinning. You cannot let your problems, you cannot let your mental block stop your world from spinning. Because the world around you keeps spinning. You have to keep spinning. Those are basically all the tips I have. Those are all of the advice I have. I love you. You got this. I believe in you. Because if there's one thing I know, it's that you can do this. I love you all. I hope you have an amazing day, night, morning, weekend, week. You got this. And just know that you are loved. And know that you are not alone. I'll see you guys later.